Hello everyone, welcome back to the final round of Swiss here at day 2 of the Pokemon Trading Card Game Bremen Regional Championships 2022. I'm Freya Pierce, I'm here with Amy Wasley, and this is what is all come down to.
Yeah, right. No, I was just gonna say absolutely. This is one of the coolest matchups that I'm gonna be excited for today. Actually, some really fantastic players, some definite fan favorites.
Yes.
You guys are gonna be very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, we will be featuring Gabor against Tai. Gabor, I don't think we had a chance to have him on stream yet. Tai?
We haven't, no, but they are popular on stream. We know that they are incredibly favored by the community.
Yes, no question about it. Gabor is a fan favorite, and Tai, of course, the emergent fan favorite with that Arceus Sylveon deck, which he is playing again today. Meanwhile, Gabor rocking the Mew VMAX, which of course we have seen so much of over the course of today. So both of these guys are on 28 points currently, I believe. Oh, sorry, 29. No, rather, Gabor's on 30 and Tai is on 29. So a tie might squeeze it in for Gabor, but he'd rather not risk it. And Tai needs the win here to make it into the top 8. And we are kicking off now with, it looks like Gabor going first. Down goes a Genesect V, and of course Gabor is going to be doing like the usual Mew VMAX stuff here. So going to try and set up his board as wide as possible, do lots of fusion, do lots of fusion strike systems, and start with a Chromatic there as well.
Ooh, didn't hit the Chromatic, and to be honest, Gabor's hand looks a little dead. I mean, he's got the Rose Tower. So if he thins a little bit more...
Yeah. Okay, he's got the Quick Ball as well, which helps. So that's actually, it's not the end of the world. Although
but 2 Mew VMAX in hand is not ideal at the start of the game.
No, especially considering if we have a quick look at the deck list, I'm not sure about how many exactly Gabor is playing, because a lot of the lists that we've seen have kind of opted to go a little bit thinner on the VMAX, and he played 2 instead of 3 or 4. So if that's the case, this could be very awkward for Gabor. He's only playing 2, so those are the only 2 copies in his whole deck. He can't discard this other one.
No, that is really concerning. So that starting hand with 2 Mew VMAX, and Mew decks in general aren't known for putting things in their hand back in the deck. It doesn't often happen. So it's one of those difficult things. If you do end up with things you really don't want to see in the first turn, they can end up lingering there for a turn or 2, which is not what we want. You don't want things clogging your hand in Mew.
Nope.
You want them out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So having to get rid of 1 Mew VMAX right at the beginning,
not
great.
Not great. But thankfully, this Rose Tower draw was insane. Like, Gabor was able to find another Genesect V as well as an Oricorio, so we can start to see some Fusion Strike systems here. Doesn't put the Oricorio down just yet, but here's the first Fusion Strike system drawing a Quick Ball on the Power Tablet. Not bad. Quick Ball discarding the Oricorio, not really wanting it in this matchup, thinking it's not really as relevant. And I'd imagine probably going for a Meloetta.
Yeah, only 1 Remoraid out. They can't attack this turn, so that's okay. But if Tai doesn't see much else than the Remoraid, then obviously they're looking quite good. We can already see, though, Tai's got that VIP Battle Pass in hand, so they're going to be absolutely fine. Yeah,
no worries there. Tai is all ready and raring to go with his Battle VIP Pass, ready to search any 2 Pokemon from the deck and put them onto the 2 basics from the deck and put them onto the bench. Here comes Fusion Strike System number 2, this time able to draw up to 5, finds another Mew V. Probably going to want to put that down, I imagine, or just search from the Battle VIP Pass to get it out of the hand. And
lovely.
We see Gabor as energetic as ever with his playing. You'd love to see it. Like, there's a reason why Gabor is a fan favorite. And actually, maybe even considering going for the second Meloetta instead.
The bench situation for Gabor in this game is quite interesting because of Tai's unusual deck type.
Yes, true. Of course, Tai, as we mentioned already, rocking that Arceus V-Star combined with the Sylveon VMAX plus other attackers to kind of... He knows this deck like the back of his hand, right? He's had success with it at the EUIC. There's a good potential that he's going to have even another really great round of success with it here. Made it all the way through to the winning in to top 8 here in day 2. So, yeah, Gabor's going to be in for a bit of a struggle, but Gabor is also in a great position himself. He clearly knows his deck very well too. So it is an incredibly exciting sort of winning in last round of Swiss match that we have for you here.
It's very interesting as well because it's unlikely that Gabor would have done a lot of testing against something like Tai's deck, although it's well known because of their previous success with it. Not a lot of other people run it.
No, it is very much almost like a Tai pet deck, I guess you could say. And yeah, there definitely won't be... If you think about when you try to prioritize the amount of time you spend testing against various different things, Sylveon isn't going to be a priority, let's be honest.
No, not at all. So you usually will go down its very linear path of trying to set up as quick as possible and just start dishing out damage. Well, actually, it looks like we're struggling for energy right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So he's not playing a ridiculously low count for a Mew deck. We've got the 4 Fusion Strikes, 2 Double Turbos, and 1 Psychic, but not able to find any of them. And, finds one now because there's a Double Turbo off of the Rotom phone. But no way to draw more cards. All the Fusion Strike systems used up along with the Rose Tower.
I mean, they can't attack this turn, so it's okay. And because of
Yeah.
the Sparkle and there is one in hand, they can get that double attach on next turn. So
Yeah.
it's not too damning.
No, it's true. It's they would have liked to get 1 energy down this turn, of course, but given the situation, it's not necessarily the end of the world. And I do believe we will now just be seeing Gabor pass it over to Tai after all that. Yeah, unless there's some way to draw more cards. No, I don't think so. No, yeah, there we go. Kind of acknowledging that everything's been used up. And now it's up to Tai to set up.
So here we go. Let's see what they're going to take. They've got quite a colourful hand. It looks like they've got lots of resources, lots of ways to go in, lots of supporters. And going second, it looks like they're going to be able to utilise those well. So we'll see what they decide to do with that.
Especially as already been mentioned with that Battle VIP pass, able to grab any 2 basics from the deck and put them onto the bench, will be able to get the exact 2 attackers that he wants in this matchup. Now, of course, one attacking option that Tai's deck does have is that Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX that we have seen creep back into the format over the past few tournaments, but not really something you want to be using against a deck that can hit you for Psychic weakness. So
no, not at all. And actually, I mean, Tai might struggle for some evolutions in this battle. Their prize cards are heavy on the ball search.
Yeah, the 1 Quick Ball and 2 Ultra Balls in there. Not ideal, to say the least, but looks like off the Battle VIP pass, just grabbing 2 Arceus Vs. This makes sense, of course. Arceus V is insanely strong as a stats-up Pokemon and as a attacker by its own virtue. And there goes Gabor having to pick up the Sylveon V to read what it does.
Or maybe just because it's beautiful.
Yeah, that is true as well. You never know.
They've definitely gone and blinged out that deck with some beautiful old arts.
Yeah, that's always wonderful, and also especially I gotta say personally, huge fan of this new promo art for the Arceus V. I think it suits the card so well, and it's very evocative, of course, of the Legends Arceus game.
Absolutely, no, it looks just fantastic, and it's a absolute pleasure that after seeing them released in Japan, they did do a Western printing.
Yeah, no kidding at all about that. So Tai, after that pretty strong bench setup, does after all that go for the Marnie. Probably hoping to find an energy off this. If nothing else, a Double Turbo plus Switch card would be optimal because then you can just get a bunch of energy onto the field. But it looks like that might be a case of no energy at all.
Ooh.
Oh, another VIP pass. So get one more thing onto the bench. And okay, given that the situation is as it is now, Tai getting the second Remoraid out makes a lot of sense because I think what he's going to do is just accept that this Remoraid in the active is going to be KO'd and just leave it in the active to take the hit from the inevitable Mew VMAX.
Yeah, as a single prizer, it's not too awful for them, and they really do need that Octillery, so they've got a consistent energy engine.
Yes. Now, in the meantime, yeah, nothing off the Battle VIP pass, so just playing it more to get it out of the hand. Stadium replacement going on, so Rose Tower goes away and gets replaced by Tai's Training Core, and now Tai ending his turn with a Dream Gift, a very solid ability that the Sylveon V has. Just lets you search your deck for any one item and then end your turn. So if you've got nothing better to do, why not get that little bit extra consistency boost, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's nice that it has an ability, even though it ends your turn, when you have absolutely nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So much like Gormandai Snorlax utilises it, Leafeon V. There's some other really awesome Pokemon that have abilities that do end your turn, but my word, they're useful.
Yeah, and especially like in a situation like this where you don't really, you can't attack and you probably don't even want to anyway unless you can somehow get a Trinity Charge, then absolutely why not do that? And you can do that as well whilst leaving something else in the active that you don't mind being KO'd, like Tai has done here.
Yeah, Tai's deck unfortunately running a little bit on the slow side for what we've seen previously.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent. I mean, the board setup is still very good, right? You have the Sylveon down, you have 2 Arceus Vs down. I think the main worry you have right now is maybe like a Boss's Orders KO or something. I think that's what Gabor would like to dig for, but whether he can find it, of course, is another matter. There is, oh, that hand is very awkward to deal with. 2 Fusion Strike energies and the double turbo all in hand at the same time. You don't really want to be discarding much of any of these. And an echoing horn as well.
With the lack of an energy attached from last turn, I think Gabor's going to struggle to boss. I think they might choose Elsa Sparkle. Oh, they do have the double turbo though, so
Yeah, but
that's an option.
But understandably, oh, he's run another Fusion Strike energy.
Oh, these draws are bad. These draws are bad. It's going to be so hard for him to thin this hand.
Yeah,
to
and
get more draw power.
And maybe acknowledging that kind of, yeah, because Gabor really doesn't want to be discarding any of those Fusion Strike energies, but maybe he doesn't have a choice but to discard one, yeah, so one of them gets discarded alongside the switch, which Gabor doesn't really need right now, and of course going to be going for that Mew VMAX straight away.
Yeah, very essential at this point. Gabor needs to get attacking and hope for an out for this bad hand.
Yeah, because the Fusion Strike energies are great, but you want them in the deck so you can attach them with Release of Sparkle. You do not want them in the hand where they're just sat there clogging up your draws and making your Fusion Strike systems worse.
And it's commonly why one Marnie is now played in many Mew decks.
Yes, because both for the disruption and just the fact that it is a card that can put those Fusion Strike energies back in. Now, Fusion Strike system number 2 gets used. That's another Rose Tower and a couple of Mew Vs.
Which again are clogging the hand.
Yeah,
Gabor's bench is full. There's they can play the Rose Tower, but they can't get the hand count low enough to utilize that at all.
So Gabor could maybe do a third Fusion Strike system for one more card. Could maybe play the Echoing Horn as well. Is there actually a basic? Yeah, there is one more basic in Ty's bench. Of course, that's a Rapid Strike Urshifu V. So then that is a pretty nice target. Could have maybe considered going for that earlier actually, because it was always would have been a good target. And then, oh, he does want to release a Sparkle off of that, but with all of the Fusion Strike energy in hand. You could use it to attach one energy, because we know that there is one left in the deck because it's not in the prizes.
Yeah, so one energy. It's not ideal using your supporter. I mean, energy acceleration is energy acceleration, right? But, I mean, you could have just used a bead.
I must confess, I feel like I'm dropping a bit of a curse here, because every single time I've been casting on a Mew VMAX game, the player hasn't been able to attach more than one energy from the Elisa Sparkle because the rest have been in hand every single time without failure. Yes.
Wow,
so,
that's unlikely.
So, Gabor, if you're watching this back in future, I apologize in advance, but clearly the curse has continued.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, at the very least, Gabor's turn is not a complete disaster, right? You can still take the KO on this Remoraid, take your first prize and start making your way into this game, if nothing else.
Yeah, there are no sort of... There isn't a clear prize journey yet for Gabor.
No.
That's the thing. So the Remoraid knockout isn't a bad choice, because it's likely that maybe it'll be 1 VMAX, a basic, and a V-Star, for example, and that would be game. So it's unlikely Gabor's going to be looking at taking too long of a prize journey anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think 1 Remoraid knockout is bad for them.
No, it's fine. It's some tempo. It's an extra card in the hand, and Gabor having to pick up the Sylveon VMAX this time and read that one. Yeah, so again, maybe just admiring how pretty it is. Who knows?
It's it's one of my favorite evolution cards because it just is. It's so pretty and yet so violent as it's screaming out of the card. So and hopefully that is quite intimidating to Gabor. I think it's always scary for people when they have to pick up and read a card. Yeah,
it can be, and then. But Gabor going to be very grateful for this Marnie here. Those Fusion Strike energies that were clogging his hand going back into the deck. And actually, that's a much better hand that Gabor has now off of that Marnie. Boss's orders and a couple of other things.
Gabor very grateful for Marnie there.
Yes. And in the meantime, Ty having played the Marnie, not much options for energy acceleration, I believe. So don't know if we'll be seeing anything insane attack-wise going on this turn. Although...
Ooh.
There's a Galarian Moltres V.
Yeah, with the extra space on bench for Ty, that was quite important because obviously last turn Gabor filled their bench for them with the Urshifu.
See, I'm trying to look here. Is there any way? No. I was wondering if there could be some insane way to pull off the Aura Burn attack this turn on the Galarian Moltres V and take the knockout on the Mew VMAX, but I don't think it's possible with the list the way that it is, unfortunately. That would be insane. You could maybe do it with like a attach from hand Melanie plus the ability, Dire Flame Wings. That would have done it, but not possible
Yeah,
having Tai having played the Marnie already.
No, and they don't play Energy Switch either, so even if they were able to maybe get an energy off Octillery, they're still not going to be able to use Sylveon yet.
Yeah.
So that's not an option right now either.
No, it's not. But in the meantime, we do see their Path to the Peak coming into play, countering Tai's own Training Court just to deny Gabor the extra draws from the Fusion Strike systems. And now just a Trinity Charge going on, which I think is probably the next best option if you can't get this Arceus V out the active. Unfortunately for Tai, we already know that there is a boss's orders waiting in Gabor's hand. And there's...
That Moltres isn't quite as safe as we would hope.
No. In fact, there could have been an argument to maybe use Big Charm on the Moltres instead, because then I think at that point you would have forced a couple more outs from Gabor to KO it. You could have maybe needed like another damage modifier.
Yeah, making Gabor's knockouts as difficult as possible while Tai sets up is probably for the best, but I suppose they were just going for what's in the active, what they're going to be using next, and they did spread the energy a little bit, so
Yeah.
I don't think it was a bad decision.
Yeah. We do see there, of course, Gabor does play the one copy of Marnie, so yeah, clearly that's, I think that's a pretty common staple now, just to play the one-off copy for those situations, exactly like you mentioned. But let's see what Gabor does here. Looks like it's going to be a retreat, and then a switch. Okay, so now, you can use the Technoblast again. And then, yeah, boss's order straight away, no time wasted.
No, that Moltres is much too scary with its big damage and weakness against Mew VMAX.
Yeah, and although, actually, hold the phone, the Technoblast only does 210 damage normally, and right now it's actually only doing 190 because of the double turbo energy.
So they still need a little bit extra.
Yeah, they need either a choice spell or a power tablet, and I don't believe I see a way for him to get one right now. So actually, yeah, no, Gabor shaking his head, kind of realizing, no, I'm short here. Wow.
Moltres dealing damage to itself is still dangerous, though.
That's true.
So
Oh, but there's the Rose Tower! Oh my goodness!
Oh, wow.
And just like that, Gabor is right back into this, and gets the choice spell. Oh, almost styling on Tai. It says, "Oh wait, hold on. Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I not?" There we go.
Oh wow! And straight back into doing what Mew does best and drawing so many cards.
Yeah. All of a sudden, this has turned from complete disaster into absolute dream territory for Gabor, as now he is firing on all cylinders and doing all the Fusion Strike systems and finding all the damage modifiers he needs to KO this Galarian Moltres V. Absolutely insane.
Gabor loves to put a show on, don't they, for us?
He really, really does. And you might even sort of... okay, I was going to say he might stop here, but no, not at all, because he's got a quick ball in hand, so he wants to use that to fin the Battle VIP pass as quickly as he can, that being obviously a no longer useful card. And now he's going to shuffle up after that. He's already got the KO on the Galarian Moltres, because with that choice belt, the 190 now, because that's 220, and that's an exact knockout, that's fine. So now Gabor needs to decide how much further he wants to go with this, if any further at all, and sort of decide where he wants to stop, as it were.
Yeah, they can still continue. There's no reason to not. As long as they've got what they want in their hand,
yes,
that's when to stop. But until that moment, they might as well keep going. And they're going to take prize cards too. So
and he's decided that moment is after 2 Fusion Strike systems, he's had enough, and now taking the KO with the Fusion Strike, with the Cross Fusion Strike, copying Technoblast for the knockout. So in the meantime, there's going to be a attach to the Remoraid switch, then drawing a couple cards of the Rose Tower. There you go, Gabor forgetting to kind of unturn his Genetech Vs to kind of undo the indication that they've been used. Well, it's a fan of waves, so they can put the double turbo back. I mean, it's not the end of the world, it's annoying, but of course you can always just get that back later, and there is the Meloetta ready to go at some point.
Yeah, Mew's free retreat cost makes it nice and easy to get back into that Meloetta for a big attack.
Yeah, and yeah, there we go. With the Trinity Nova from the Arceus V-Star, Tai able to do 180 damage and then just get some more energies out to set up another attacker. But I think losing that Galarian Moltres V was pretty huge, honestly. I think Tai maybe banked on that not happening, but unfortunately it did.
Yeah, I think this could end up a little bit on the wire as well, because both of these decks take a long time to do what they do.
They do, yes.
And it's hard to tell in a matchup like this how it's going, because the tables could yet turn. So it's worth them taking the time to finish this.
Yeah.
Nobody should be scooping.
No, not at all. Especially considering, you know, a win is what both these players. Well, Gabor could maybe take a time and risk it, but a win would be the best bet for either of these players to get into the top 8. So I'm sure that's what they'll both be aiming for. Now, Gabor, for what it's worth, could, if he finds an Elisa Sparkle and then 1 damage modifier, Meloetta can actually come in and get the KO on this Arceus V-Star, which would be pretty big. And I'm sure that's what he'd like to go for if possible. So Ultra Ball gets played, discarding a Genesect V and a Mew V. Again, at this point, just thinning cards out of the hand, wanting to make sure that he maximizes the chance of hitting this play that he wants to hit. There is also a Power Tablet in the hand already. And this is one of the big skills that you need to sort of master playing the Mew deck, is kind of knowing exactly when to start, when to stop, what to discard, what to keep in hand, and to really strike that balance between fitting out your deck enough to have exactly what you need to close out the game, but also leaving enough resources so that you can see the KOs that you need to see.
It's interesting as well, because every Mew deck will get one opportunity to do one big attack with all of those power tablets at your disposal.
Yes.
If you split them up into smaller uses of the power tablets, they're not quite as useful, because they can't hit those huge KOs. To maybe KO a VMAX, for example, you're going to need to almost always use 3 or more power tablets.
Yes, and here we go. The Elisa Sparkle ready in hand for Gabor, so potentially risky here as actually, it looks like there might have been 1 Fusion Strike Energy in the discard pile, I guess. So, or maybe 1 in hand. Actually, I can't tell.
Must be on a discard, because it's not in hand by the looks of things.
But I could have wait, what? I could have sworn. No, am I misremembering something? Yeah, okay, that's a basic psychic attachment. Power tablet.
Ooh.
Choice belt.
Looks like we're going in for a big Meloetta attack, potentially.
But it's interesting, because I would have thought you want to attack with the Meloetta with the psychic energy on. That way you get less fusion strike energies off the board. But Gabor not agreeing, I guess.
Not opting for that one on this occasion,
Yeah.
no.
So here we go with another. Well, with the first fusion strike system of this turn, finds another power tablet. So I think now Gabor just like doing the maths to see, right, do I actually have this or not? There's a Rotom Phone. And, he was very quick at getting that, so I can only presume that was the extra damage modifier that was needed.
Yeah, 'cause one in play, 1 in hand.
Yes.
There it goes on top.
Yeah, from the Rotom Phone. There's power tablet number 2. Of course, if he was able to get the 4th Fusion Strike Energy in play, that would be
there's 2 more. Drew 2 off the top deck there.
That's wow. Okay, wait, was it 2 off the top deck? Because I think that's unbelievable. Okay, so
yeah, that was 2 power tablets off the top deck, the gold and then into the regular.
Yeah. I think he only needed 3 to be fair, so that last one can sort of stay in hand. But
that one was just lucky.
Yeah. But with that now, Gabor now doing the last fusion strike system, but now all the pieces are in place, to get the KO on this Arceus V-Star. And Gabor kind of was like shaking his head in disbelief, so wow, I can't believe I hit all of that, I guess. And now, all stuff going into the discard pile, and now we will be seeing, the Melodious Echo for the knockout on this Arceus V-Star, even with the big charm. And now Gabor is just 1 prize away from winning, which he can easily pick up off of the Remoraid.
Yeah, as long as they can boss that Remoraid, everything is good. So Ty's going to be desperately hoping, probably going in and counting how many bosses orders have been used already here, or how, if they do indeed have that energy in the discard pile.
Yeah. So Gabor is playing 3 bosses orders, and I believe there's only 1 that I saw being played or in the discard pile. So given that Gabor is so given that Gabor has played very well, and I think sort of striking the right balance, like we were talking about earlier, with sort of using stuff but also making sure to keep the stuff that's important, I think this might be over for Ty.
I think looks like they're just weighing up their options here, because I think you're very much correct. It might be a bit too much.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're going to go for a Boston Cove themselves this turn.
Okay, so boss's orders on the Mew, Rapid Strike Energy onto the Sylveon, and then, I guess KO on the Mew VMAX, just to take the prize, I guess. Oh, no, gotta go for a Rose Tower first. Three cards now in hand. There's an Avery and a Crobat. Okay, cool. Dark Asset can draw some more cards. Gabor laughing about something, it looks like. I wish we'd hear what he was saying. I bet we'd be an absolute riot on the table right now.
And that's the thing as well. Sylveon benefits from more and more different types on the bench. So benching Crobat's still a good idea.
Yeah, because the more differing types, the more damage it does, yeah. So with that, yeah, Gabor, or rather Ty, able to take knockout on Gabor's Mew VMAX. So now it's just going to be a matter of, we get the Meloetta, do we find the boss orders? And it's there in the hand already.
Oh, there it is. So good game on that one.
Yes, Gabor takes the first game, and now we will be moving on to game 2. And once again, another masterclass in the power of Mew VMAX as a deck. Just with the draw power you have, able to find so many damage modifiers to take big KOs where you need to, and all the means of energy acceleration with release of sparkles to set things up. This is such a strong archetype.
It's a really interesting game as well. Unfortunately, Ty's deck just didn't quite catch up.
No.
In the end, after that Moltres knockout, it kind of all just seemed to go downhill, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Ty, by the time Gabor had taken the 5 prizes, Ty had taken none and was only just then able to get the knockout on the Mew VMAX for his first 3. But then, of course, Gabor just had the boss's orders in hand to seal the game by taking the knockout on the Remoraid.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the wait to see if they could make the comeback. They have Pokemon that work fast and that have weakness to Gabor's
It is true, yeah.
So it's always worth Ty waiting that out. It does just mean that if we end up with a game 3 situation, we could be really tight for time on this one.
Yeah, and I think that's the situation that Ty especially will be worried about. If Gabor ties, he ideally wouldn't like to be in that situation, but he could in theory still make top 8. If Ty ties, that's pretty much completely scuppering his chances for making top 8 because he'll be on 30 points, which I'm fairly sure won't be enough.
That would be such a shame. So they're really going to be relying on this to be a quick game 2.
Yes.
Into a game 3, hopefully.
Yeah. So here we are. The last round of Swiss, the sort of what it all comes down to after 13 prior rounds of Pokemon matches for 3 games apiece, and now one last Swiss round to determine who's going to make it into the top 8 and who has to start the long journey home.
It's been a long weekend, and the players are all starting to feel the pressure.
Without a doubt.
And the exhaustion, I'm sure.
I think it's like Gabor taking Mulligan, and looks like just having to shuffle the deck again and look for a basic one more time. It is an interesting matchup, like you say, because Ty does have an answer to the Mew VMAX in the form of both... Well, actually, there's 2 answers, right? There's both the Galarian Moltres V and the Crobat VMAX, which I haven't actually seen come into play yet, but that could be crucial if he finds it early enough. Yeah,
it could be amazing. Like, at the end of the day, the Crobat VMAX is awesome because it jumps itself back to the bench as well. You can provide them a single prizer if you want to. And we didn't even see the Octillery come into that game.
No, we didn't. No, Ty just really not able to find it. I think that was one of the things that really hurt him a lot because he didn't have that early game consistency to set up and find the right card every single turn for this almost... You can almost call this deck more of a Rapid Strike toolbox, if anything, right? Because you have so many different Rapid Strike cards and attackers in the deck.
Yeah, it really is interesting like that. And they were so sure of that at the start of the game when we saw the confident 2 Remoraid. And for that to fall apart a bit was a bit upsetting, really. Oh, 3 Darkness Energy in prizes is not what we want to see when they only run 4.
Yeah, that is rough. And also from Gabor as well, 1/1 Mew line prize. So that's only one Mew VMAX in the deck. So nasty prizes for both players here.
All round, Ty will be unlikely unless they take a prize card or something else initially to get a knockout with their Moltres.
Yes, absolutely. Although Ty here could be very nasty and throw down that pass to the peak because currently Gabor, as far as I could see, did not have a Stadium out in his hand to counter the pass to the peak. So that could be very dangerous territory for Gabor if Ty decides to throw down that path. It's a bit tricky because sometimes you don't necessarily want to because you kind of assume that the Mew player has a counter. But then in this kind of situation when they don't, you could just, at that point, snowball with a massive lead whilst the Mew player can't set up.
It is so perfect because that Genesect would be completely useless. It's got high retreat cost. It can't use its ability. Its attack is clunky. You really don't want to be committing energy to Genesect if you do not have to.
Yeah. There's a reason why the Fusion Strike decks, the best ones, all use Mew to copy the Genesect rather than attacking with the Genesect itself.
Exactly. So Genesect, unfortunately, is not the most ideal. So Crobat for 1 isn't bad here, because as we discussed earlier, the Crobat is awesome, and we didn't get to see the VMAX last game, which is still really useful. Sylveon benefits from Crobat's typing. So even just Crobat for 1, it's not bad for
No,
Tai.
it's not. Okay, a very big Chromatic here. If there's a heads, then there's a chance. But no, it's a tails!
No, the path to the peak sticks.
There is no way in Gabor's hand to search a stadium out, and now Gabor's just stuck having to quick ball for something and pass.
Oh my goodness, this is a Mew locked off, which we haven't actually seen Mew locked off this early today yet.
No, not at all. And this is sometimes why the early path can just pay dividends, because, yeah, they're not always going to have the opening stadium in hand, especially considering if you look at Gabor's list, we can have a see just how many stadiums he's playing. Oh, he's playing 4.
Oh, is it 4
Yeah,
altogether?
yeah,
wow.
free Rose Tower on training courts. That is quite unlucky, and
yeah, because they are 1 down in the prizes, but still 3 is quite a lot.
yeah,
That Chromatic was crucial.
and crucially failed to, unfortunately, with the tail slip. And
We've had to commit an energy to Genesect, which is
Wait.
every Mew player's slight nightmare.
oh, although the curse is broken, like those 2 energies attached from the Lisa
That's very
Sparkle.
true.
Yeah.
We've broken the curse, but the game is not going great.
So we've broken the curse and replaced it with a different one.
Yeah, it's a worse curse. It's
yeah.
the path to the peak.
Definitely don't want to be seeing that. Oh dear. And Gabor now just has to pass, I guess. Yeah, there's nothing else he can do. That's so horrendous for him. Oh no. And so back to Tai now, as he's been afforded a massive opportunity to attach 2 double turbo energies. And oh wait, Tai's also not working much either. It's going to be Power Edge for a knockout.
I mean, but taking out the Malouette is still significant.
Oh, that is true, actually. Yeah.
Like,
So
it means that Gabor's still stuck with no attacker and having to use their entire hand up to get one.
oh no. Gabor Ultra Balls the rest of his hand away, and I imagine will just be try to fetch a Mew. Yeah, just
yeah. So, hey, we were saying we were hoping for a game 3. It looks like that might be true, because Tai doesn't need a lot of attacking power here.
no power. Yeah, Power Edge
Oh.
can get the job done, even if though it's being currently doing 40 less than usual. It's
slow and steady wins the race.
yeah. So Gabor, no cards in hand, passes it to Tai, and
oh my goodness.
there's an evolution incense as well. So
They're going for the peony as well. They're going to steal that energy, hopefully.
yeah, so
Here we go.
So Karina's focus, energy. Yeah, there you go. So with that now, and can put back some stuff that's
They
isn't very
don't
useful.
need right now, no. They've,
No.
they've seen their deck searches now, so they know what they've got, and they can confidently put back those prize cards, thinking, I can grab those later. I know where they're going to be.
Yes.
Alternatively, I already have plenty of these in deck right now.
Yes, absolutely. So looks like Tai opted to put back one of the Dark Energies. Obviously, yeah, the Urshifu going to go in there as well. Putting the Sylveon VMAX back, not needing that right now. I guess, yeah, something you want more for later. But crucially, the Evolution Incense. So now Tai can get that Arceus V-Star, Starbirth for 2 cards, and really, really start to sort of turn the crank, as it were, on the Gabor's chances.
Not going to be able to Starbirth yet.
Oh,
because
Pass is
their
still
own
in
path
play.
to the peak, which they definitely want to keep down, so we are not doing that. But they will be attacking.
Yes.
Decent amount of damage on Genesect, but 40 fewer, so we are down.
It's 160 currently that it's doing. So, yeah, I imagine we're probably getting a couple of energies and whacking them onto either the Crobat V or the Galarian Moltres V.
But again, Tai doesn't need to worry too much. Gabor has 0 hand.
Yeah, it's true.
No cards in hand whatsoever, and that's their last Mew.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's actually really, really bad then.
Yeah. Gabor will be left with very minimal attackers, even if they do manage to top deck by any miracle. If they could max miracle into a stadium on the top of the deck, they're still left pretty high and dry.
Here goes top deck. That's a quick ball.
They can't use it.
Yes.
Oh,
Gabor passes again.
This is upsetting. I've not seen a Mew brick this bad on stream.
Yeah, that's
in a while.
That's the power of Path to the Peak. Sometimes, yeah, you can just path and pray, and this time the prayers have been answered. Ultra Ball. Yeah, Ultra Ball discarding a Battle VIP pass and a Marnie.
Oh, yes. Tai does not want to be playing Marnie right now.
No, definitely not.
Certainly not. They want to leave Gabor with a dead hand for as long as possible, but even so, Gabor's chances of coming back from this are minimal. There's 1 Meloetta in prizes. In their discard pile. Mew's in the prizes.
Yeah, and
1 Genesect down now, and the final Mew has to be promoted.
Yes, so if Gabor does not draw anything useful this turn, the game is over. The game might be over anyway, honestly.
Well, they might use the quick ball with whatever they draw to stay in the game a turn longer.
Yes, possibly, I guess. It's a quick ball for a quick ball.
They are. And stay in for at least 1 turn longer, because if they take a Genesect, again, it has to be 2-hit KO'd currently.
Yeah.
So there they go. They're going for the long game. They're thinking, right, if I might be able to scrape my way out of this. I just don't think they're going to survive it quite long enough, personally.
No, I don't think so either. So, yeah, I imagine this turn we're probably going to see Ty retreat the Arceus, go into the Crobat, and just, do max cuts of it. Oh, actually, Gabor just retreats and switches. So, yeah, that kind of, doing that price denial already.
Yeah, keeping that Mew safe because it is.
But there's the boss's orders.
Oh, there's the boss of the manual retreat. Oh, goodbye Mew. That's Gabor's last Mew.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, there's no.
Recover.
I'm sorry, there's
they
no coming back from this.
Nope.
Yeah, in fact, is Gabor saying he's going to scoop? No, maybe not. Yes, maybe. I'm not sure.
No. They want to see what the top deck is. They're going to give us a show. They always do.
And what is it?
They're
Oh,
laughing.
he's laughing. What is it? It's a Crammatic. Dark Retreat and Aura Burn will do 190 for the game. And we'll be moving on to a game 3.
Yes, that was amazing. That was like, it just goes to show how quickly Mew can be shut down.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pass on the Peak was all it really took to stop Gabor from being able to do anything. I mean, his hand, were it not for that Pass on the Peak, was insane. He had so many search cards he could probably set up.
Fantastic,
But no, with no Fusion Strike systems available to use, the deck just kind of falls apart. And Gabor is going to be hoping to not see a repeat of that in game 3.
Yeah, certainly. And similarly, Ty, hopefully not for the repeat of game 1. So I think we've definitely had each player's kind of slightly ideal scenario.
I think that's safe to say as well, yeah. And there's 15 minutes left on the clock, so there is, in theory, enough time to see a full game 3. But again, if these players play fast, then I'm sure that'll be on both of their minds as they go through this game 3 and start setting up here.
The who goes first, starting hand, Crammatic flips, all of these things are going to be so crucial. Lady Luck will have a fair part in this match right now.
Yes, so both players knowing exactly what's on the line. Nerves riding very high right now, I think it's fair to say. Ty kind of pulling an interesting expression right now. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. And Gabor actually looking surprisingly serious for once. He's contemplative, just kind of...
It's a very important match for them.
Yeah, it is. So there we go. Both players about to draw their opening hands. Or rather, Gabor just giving Ty's deck a quick shuffle. Of course, when your opponent gives you the deck, you can either shuffle or cut it, depending on what your preference is, or do nothing to it. That's an option as well. But most players tend to either cut or shuffle their opponent's deck. And
feels very within the spirit of the game,
almost,
doesn't it?
It does. And pricey-wise, that's nowhere near as bad. Ooh.
I don't love Ty's prizes, and the 2 power tablets from Gabor make me nervous.
Yeah, slightly, but it looks like... Oh, what's Gabor got? Oh, another Crammatic. Let's see if maybe this one is a little bit more favourable to him.
Yeah.
As he does discard the power tablet there. Oh, another Tails! Oh, no! Ty slaps his head as I can't believe it.
Oh.
Although, thankfully, this time Gabor actually has a Rose Tower ready to go in hand. So, although not much in terms of being able to draw. So, there's...
Another Rose Tower they draw for
Oh!
that. Which protects them from Path to the Peak, but not much else.
Yeah, no, then that's really not an ideal setup. Like, that hand is clogged. There's not enough bench Pokemon out to,
Ty counters with Training Court, which is ideal for them right now because they want to save... Because that's going to be countered probably by Rose Tower again.
Yeah.
So for Ty, that's probably the best because they don't want to waste Path to the Peak at this point.
No, and there's a Battle VIP pass from Ty, an excellent find. Yes.
Love to see it.
Especially so because Ty was able to find the double turbo energy turn 1 and attach it to the Arceus V, so now you can use this to charge up a Moltres straight away, and all of a sudden Gabor's thinking, uh-oh.
Yeah, because not only can it take out Mew, but also Genesect is the perfect amount of damage.
Yeah, well, Aura Burn does 190, and that is the exact amount of Genesect V's hit points.
So it really is one of the strongest Mew counters really out there, because it hits all of their Pokemon for knockout.
Yes. So, and Ty, again, going to take some time to look through the deck and see what's available to him, what isn't. Can't dilly-dally too much, unfortunately, because, of course, time is of the essence here. But there's like opts to go for Remoraid and Sylveon, and actually just go straight for the Dream Gift after that. So no Trinity Charge this time. Maybe
No.
kind of recognizing from the last time, it might be wise to hold the Moltres V until you can get it powered up in one turn and actually take the knockout with it.
Yeah, again, leaving it a little bit open on the bench like that was what brought it down last time.
Exactly.
So maybe having some Darkness Energy in the discard pile first and having it pop out of the deck later is just so much safer.
Okay, that's a very good draw from Gabor. We see another Genesect down, and of course we see the Rose Tower there too. So now he can draw one off the Rose Tower, and Rose Tower for one, but this needs to be a good draw here. Oh, that is a quick ball. That's very, very good.
Yep, and they've got the best choice of supporters. They've got their boss and Elsa Sparkle in hand, so they can choose which one they'd like to use and discard the other one right now.
I think the boss is definitely the better discard here. Because the Arceus V is the main threat right now. So you want to, if you can, take that out this turn. It's not unlikely. It's not likely, but it's not impossible either because you could get a Melodious Echo going this turn. And I imagine that's what Gabor will be aiming for here. So yeah, going to get the Meloetto out. Meloetta.
Yeah, the Arceus doesn't have very strong HP now where it's not evolved yet. So there's a chance for Gabor to go, right, no, quickly in we go. Let's take some prizes nice and early. Get Mew rolling the way it should. Yeah,
so playing the Sparkle, and so that's going to be 140 damage now with the Melodious Echo. So Gabor needs to find a switch out for the Genesect, one more Fusion Strike energy, and then a damage modifier to push over the cliff and KO take the 210 over to 240, which can then knock out the Arceus V.
Yeah, they've only got half of their switching options, though.
No, that is true, yeah, because there is 2 switching options, 1 escape rope and 1 switch in the prize card. So here we go, Fusion Strike System number 1. Wait,
hey,
literally the first 2 cards!
Into the switch and the power tablet. Oh my goodness.
Like,
you couldn't have planned that better.
No, unbelievable. And then Mew was down on the bench as well.
And now their hand is empty for more Fusion Strike System.
Absolutely insane. Exactly the perfect draw for Gabor is now. He is firing on all cylinders again, and this is looking a little bit more like game 1 than game 2, I think it's safe to say.
Very much so. And we've got the Chromatic, which you can get rid of one of the battle passes, because you did draw 2 just then. So they're a little bit annoying, because they clog your hand up unless you've got a way to get rid of them. And currently, the Chromatic is the only way to get rid of those in his hand right now.
Yes, it is. So I think he might be just deciding what he wants to go for from that, but there it is. And it's a Tails anyway, but he's fine with that because
it just gets rid of the battle pass, and that's important.
He doesn't need anything else this turn. He literally already drew like the perfect hand essentially. So
just wants to get things in hand to help him out next turn now, and then go for the knockout.
Yeah, Melodious Echo for 240 does take the knockout on the Arceus V. 2 prizes now for Gabor, and now Tai has to really try and mount the comeback response here.
Yeah, it's a little scary at this point for Tai, but again, a lot of their attackers work quickly and get set up quickly.
Yeah.
Octillery finally in play, so we can get whatever we need from that, so that it does improve Tai's prospects a lot.
Yeah, so of course Octillery with that very strong Rapid Strike search ability, once per turn lets you search for any Rapid Strike card from your deck and put it into your hand. So very, very strong there. Also, is that Tai attaching a fighting energy to the...
Shifu, yeah.
Yeah, ooh, okay. Slightly risky, I would have thought.
It's an unusual choice, but not one we haven't possibly seen before. Shifu can still do a lot of damage, and it's just whether it's worth leaving it vulnerable to one of these psychic types.
Yeah, I think Tai might be hoping for a kind of path to the peak combo here to lock Gabor out of drawing the double turbo energy plus the Mew VMAX to get the return KO. I can only imagine that's what's going through his mind right now.
Yeah, quite possibly, because they can set up this Urshifu this turn now, because even if they didn't have the Rapid Strike energy, they can search it with Octillery. Then they just need to bring Octillery back to the bench, and boom, they've got Meloetta down and some damage on a Mew, or potentially more. It depends where they want to go with it. It depends if they want to spread some damage out on the board for things that can't be removed, like Genesect.
Yeah, potentially. Oh, there goes down a Galarian Moltres V as well, so that's pretty nice. Rose Tower draws, and that's not a quick ball. Oh, Crobat, excellent draw.
Tai, you can tell they're getting serious now.
Yes.
They are putting big threats on the board in numbers.
Yes. Oh, and Tai drew a switch as well, so that's extremely important. So but no path to the peak. And you can see there, it's at the bottom of the deck.
Right at the bottom. But that'll be shuffled back round, so we might see it soon. Only 6.5 minutes left on the round.
Yeah.
I'm not sure these guys are going to get done unless something dramatic happens in the next few turns.
Well, I think the problem is, since Tai wasn't able to find the path to the peak, Gabor has a lot of stuff in hand to just kind of draw a billion cards and get the means to KO the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. I think that's the main worry here.
Yeah, the 3 prize cards off the Urshifu VMAX would accelerate this game dramatically.
Yeah, and Tai kind of raising an eyebrow here, like maybe looking for something that he thought was there but wasn't, but just getting the Sylveon VMAX off of the Rapid Strike search. Does he? Oh, excuse me. Does he not play? Okay, he does play Tower of Waters. Maybe did it get discarded early? Oh, well, he has a switch in hand. Yeah, of course. Then that's better because you don't want to kind of waste a stadium counter, as it were. Yeah.
They're
so
going for the knockout on the Meloetta.
Yeah, switch into Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. Gale Thrust knocks out the Meloetta, takes 2 energies out, which is, of course, pretty important. But now, can Gabor find double turbo plus Mew VMAX?
That's terrifying. With 3 Genesect, so a lot of draw power, potential Cramomatics. There's a lot of potential that this could very much go Gabor's way here.
Yeah, Tai is not going to be happy about this. He's kind of just sitting back and praying, essentially, that he can sort of see this through. And especially because if Gabor takes knockout this turn, again, the kind of similar to last game, there's that single prize artillery, just like the Remo was in game 1, to just pick off for the win.
Or even just some significantly lower HP Pokemon, and they might get the escape rope off the prizes.
Yeah, whatever works, essentially. So
yeah, it's because presumably Tai would promote the Sylveon after Urshifu as being the highest HP hitter.
Yeah.
Just because it's going to survive a hit or 2.
And
but not if.
Yeah, and Gabor, recognizing how important this is, goes all in on the Genesect. So all 4 Genesects onto the field, the maximum amount of draw power going to be available to him. And we do see there, Rotom Phone as well, just to try and maximize the odds hitting these pieces. There's a double turbo, so yeah, that's 1 out of the 2. That's going to go to the top of the deck, no questions asked. And
1 piece of the puzzle acquired. Yes. And this is the thing, this is the interesting thing about sequencing as well with Mew, is that this sequence will be so important for Gabor because the things they need in the right order for this turn is crucial.
So
there's another double turbo.
It is. There's also a Cramomatic, and you could either use that or the Quick Ball, or oh no, there's an Echo you can discard. I don't need that now. And finally ahead for Gabor.
First of the game, they have literally flipped tails almost every time. They look so excited. Yes. I would be too.
There it is, going straight for the Mew VMAX without a moment's hesitation. And now, going to go for the Quick Ball as well, discarding a Psychic Energy, and probably going to go for another Mew V here just to have that as the backup. And wow, this is. I think this might be Gabor closing the door on the Tai's opportunity to make a comeback here, because it's going to be a free prize knockout, and then Tai has to immediately deal with this Mew VMAX and hope that Gabor can't mount another attacker. I tell you something pretty spicy. Okay. That I've had a little notice of. That Gabor could now if Tai decides to promote that Sylveon, they're in a position where they could attack with Genesect for double damage because Sylveon's weak to metal. My goodness, yes, he can. So if he Elsa Sparkles to Genesect and then either attaches for turn with either double turbo or the special energy, they can actually knock out with a Genesect. Wow, okay, so there's actually multiple outs to win here, really. Yeah, Sylveon's fairy typing, like X-fairy typing, coming in to bite it a little bit there with its metal weakness, rather than something like Dark or Psychic that some Psychic types have to deal with. Metal weakness is important here. Yes, go figure. Wow, so there it is. Cross Fusion Strike, copying Technoblast to take the KO on the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. Back to Tai now, as he needs to get this Galarian Moltres V attacking right now. Or rather, he needs to find some way to KO this Mew VMAX right now. But regardless, I mean, the Genesect could attack any of these Pokemon. It's very strange to see a Mew deck where Genesect takes the win. Yeah, I mean, so it is fringe, but sometimes it does come up, right? Because metal weakness, it doesn't come up very often, but in this instance, it does. And even then, the attack does a lot of damage, and it can take out anything on their bench. Yes, There's nothing. The only thing it couldn't knock out is the Arceus V. That's
Yes.
it. Oh, well, actually, no. It would be 10 shot on the Moltres as well. But I mean,
it would. Yes.
but you're only one you're only one damage modifier away, and you play so many.
Gabor has so many and has so much card draw. It's definitely within the realms of possibility, which is not something you see every day from a new deck.
No. So Ty probably in full awareness and acknowledgement of just how dire it could be here, trying to make sure that there's no out that he hasn't considered, if there's no sort of path through that he's maybe missing. I think the biggest problem here would be that, so there's a Crobat VMAX coming down, double turbo onto the Arceus V, and then Amani. Yeah, that's important. That's a good start to things.
Yeah, certainly.
And it's gonna be about finding the path to the peak here, because Mani is one thing, but then you need the path to really lock it in place and
you need to shut Gabor down at this point. Oh, power tablets is not nice for Ty, for Gabor to have got off that Mani.
No, and there's a fan of waves.
That's
so
good. That's positive.
Yeah.
Again, if they can get the path this turn, that'd be fantastic.
But I don't think. No, I think that they're going for the Trinity Charge now, so I think they've missed it. Oh, okay, they are going to
Tower of Waters.
Yeah, so Tower of Waters off of the Rapid Strike Search, of course, so just kind of denying a little bit of extra draw out for Gabor, but there's no path, and I think with that in mind, I don't think it's going to be too tricky for Gabor to find the win here. All he needs to do is find a double turbo energy, and that's it.
Burn through as many cards as they can in their hand right now, and start the dig.
Yes. Rose Tower has been taken away, so that takes one small option for a dig away. I don't think it's going to matter too much, though, in the grand scheme of things. So
yeah, there we go. That was expected.
At least a Sparkle. I should be. If I was counting correctly, I think there should be one Fusion Strike energy left in the deck.
Yeah, I think there is only one. So this could be important where they decide to put that. Yes, they did for the Genesect. Whoo, it's spicy.
Yeah, it is a bit.
So that double turbo can go on to the Mew or the Genesect.
No, because there's if you put it on the Genesect, you need another damage mod.
Fewer damage, you're quite right. Yeah, so because they only have one power tablets in hand currently, but that of course goes down.
Yeah, so going to play that, and then it's just going to be dig for the double turbo, and then if he finds it, that is it. There's a lot of
Rotom Phone is very handy here.
Rotom Phone and Ultra Ball. You could maybe play the Ultra Ball first, actually, just to fit a card out, but no.
They didn't really hit anything they needed, so it doesn't matter in this instance.
But they did hit another Training Court, it looks like, so that's going to be... What was that? Wait, was that Training Court? Was it... I'm confused now.
I didn't quite spot it.
Yeah. He does play the one copy, yeah, so it's 3 Rose Tower, 1 Training Court, so... Yes, and then Fusion Strike System for 1, going to draw the Training Court and play it down straight away. And there isn't... Oh, wait, of course, that's it!
Yep.
So, but then... Is that? Oh yeah, that's.
Yep, that's knockout because of
the power tablet, and of course with the basic attachment, that's all that was needed because there's no damage reduction from the double turbo. So that is it. Gabor wins game 2 and locks his place in the top 8 of the Bremen Regional Championships.
Mad congratulations! That was a fantastic game from 2 really skilled players. That was incredible to see. I'm really thrilled we got to see a Genesect attack, actually, because you don't get to see that every day.
No.
Mew's usually quite linear with what it does, and that was really exciting. So I'm grateful for both of these players for giving us quite the show. Yeah,
in this instance, Technoblast getting enough damage in with the power tablets to actually just attack with who needs Cross Fusion Strike? You just attack with a Genesect, right?
Yeah, and we finally got to see a head on that Chromatic.
Yes. Oh, unbelievable. Huge congratulations to Gabor. Commiserations to Ty, of course. So to come so far after and to really prove that his success at EUIC wasn't a one-off and that he should be considered like a name in future for day 2s and getting close to, if not actually making top 8. Fell a little bit short this time, but I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Ty in the future.
And Ty had such a unique deck.
Yes.
And that deserves so much praise because it's really hard coming into a tournament like this kind of on your own, in your own little deck archetype, like you say, very much their pet deck. And I hope that they go on to be very well known for these style of decks.
Yeah, and it is funny because it kind of reminds me a little bit of a not very well-known player. You might have heard of him, Pedro Torres. At first was known as the Volcanian player, and now is gone on to be kind of known as one of the best players in Europe with like multiple successes, including very high finishes at Worlds. So from small, from small seeds to great oaks grow, or I don't remember the exact wording, but something like that.
Yeah, no, you're awfully right. So it's just one of those moments that, unfortunately, Ty just fell short just at the last second. It was so well fought
Yes.
to get to where they got. So we of course wish them the best.
Yeah, and of course it's a tough matchup as well because Mew has the damage output to deal with Arceus a lot of the time, and unlike a lot of the other Arceus decks, Ty's Dark package is there, but it's not quite as comprehensive. You don't see the single prize Galarian Moltres, for example, that can of course just come in and do big damage on a single prize attacker and take knockouts on Mews. It was only the Crobat VMAX and the Galarian Moltres V, which he wasn't really able to make enough use of.
No, we didn't really see it at all, did we? Even in the second game when things started going well, we didn't see it because there were 3 Dark Energy in the prizes, and they only managed to scoop those out quite late in the game with that Peonia.
Yeah, and it was kind of sort of too little too late in that case. Now, again, I'm not quite 100% sure if we have an interview lined up or if we don't have time, but it looks like there's going to be we're going to be going straight to top 8 soon, so no time for an interview here, unfortunately. So that will be it from the Swiss rounds here at day 2 at Bremen, but do not go anywhere because we'll be back very soon with our top 8 matches, and you are not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned.